Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. A complete change of subject for the time being and probably for the foreseeable future actually. I'm printing the Prusa face visors. If you look on Prusa website, Prusa as in the 3D printing people, they've come up with these, and ideally printed in PETG. This one's actually PLA. I've printed a dozen last week in PET. I've run out of plastic at the moment. I've got more coming. So PLA is acceptable, but it's not ideal. You can print a higher temperature in PLA. They've been doing a few tests on various plastics to use. HIPS is acceptable. PET is ideal because it's food safe and less likely to harbour the virus. This is according to a website I'm looking at, which I'll put you the information on. PLA can be used if there's no alternative. Slightly more prone to bacterial build-up. ABS not advisable as it can cause skin irritation. Other filaments not advised at all, and don't use exotics. Don't use infused wood, metal and whatever. This is polythene plastic, which is the ones I'm using anyway. That is castable plastic in a heat mold, so you can mold it into shapes. I've just got that from Amazon. It's not, well, it is. It's fine. That's what I'm using. It's slightly smaller than the one on the Prusa site, but only by 5mm, so it's okay. They also recommend to use a rubber headband. I haven't got any, but I've ordered some. I'm just using Velcros with these clips. So I'll stop doing this, and in a couple of minutes I'll show you how I've assembled all that as well. Hello, I thought I'd just show you how I'm punching out the Mayku sheets, which are the polythene visors that I bought. These are for hot moulding. They're not quite the right size. Well, they're not quite the same size as the ones they're talking about on the Prusa, but these are 235mm square, and they're suggesting 240. So it's as nearest that you can buy that I've found anyway. Cutting the holes is not as straightforward as it may appear. Well, it's certainly not for me anyway. What I've found is one I've done earlier in Blue Peter fashion. I've always found that because I'm printing 2 holes, at a time, I've had to adjust one hole slightly. So I actually ended up going to buy one of these. It's like £3.50 on Amazon, so it wasn't a big outlay. To be able to get it to line up, but the worry I've then got is that there's a slight gap there. Do you see what I mean? So I'm still working on the best way to mount these. I suppose you can mount that the other way around actually, which is probably not a bad idea. And it's always that one that doesn't quite clip in, and then you've just got to force this one on, I guess. That solves that problem there. But if you the ones I've done before haven't been so bad, but I'll show you what I'm doing anyway. I've started using this one because my old staplers, my old punches started packing up, but you've got to sort of work out where the holes line up. This is a completely different hole position to the sides on these, and I found that if this is just trial and error with a bit of paper and a couple of these, that I've marked it on here now. But I've tried to work out where the holes were in there, which is the black line, and then where I've been taking the plastic to. But it is definitely trial and error on it. So that's the 4 holes. Let's drop this one out. Once they're on, which is good. There we go. These have got a cover sheet, a sticky on bit, which I'm just leaving on for the time being until I wash these. So you'll find what happens is, so it's not too bad. The 2 in the middle sometimes means it slightly buckles up in there, so it rides up, if you see what I mean. Which means these 2 are getting pulled in. So I've been slightly adjusting. I don't know which one needs to do. This actually is not bad at all. Yeah, see, that's now not going to go in there, so I'm probably going to have to slightly adjust there. And that's gone on. I think in the future I'm actually going to keep that higher, just because of that hole, and there's leaving a gap there. So because you can have that, depends which way you have the visor on. But I'm only doing a few of these just for my local doctors. The rest of them, as I say, I'm just going to ship these, just the frames. I won't have to worry about putting these on at all. So that's as you see, it's a little bit fiddly, but I think I am going to turn it around that way, just because, as I say, those holes will just means it wouldn't be a complete seal at the top when you rise up, which is probably not a good idea at all. So that is a mask. These, if you print these with support, you might find that middle one fills up, so you just got to flick out a little bit there. And these will just clip on, and they hold on really well actually. Again, I've still got the plastic on here, but they don't fall off at all. You could always put a bit of super glue in the middle there, but because they're sort of punched through, they've got this sort of rib inside, they actually hold on really well. So I don't think there's any necessity for that at all, to glue them at all. So there's no glue on it. Support bands, I'll show you what I'm doing. I've ordered, they mention on the Prusa site to use a elastic band with punched elastic bands, which I've ordered but hasn't arrived. But I did have some Velcro straps. These are slightly longer. I had some shorter ones on the last batch I did. And on the Prusa site, there's a lot of people doing remixing, you know, sort of accessories, and someone came up with these, which are a really good idea. Again, I'll put the link, so you can actually use these as a strap. So I'll put that in rather. And then so that can strap on, if you see what I mean. So you can make a band, and they just clip on. If I've got that in camera. So they're really neat little addition someone's made. So that is That's a headband. As I say, I'm keeping the area as clean as possible. I'm washing this with isopropyl alcohol every sort of 10 minutes or so. So it is. This is a bit, may look a bit battered, but it's been sprayed. These will get a bleach wash. Again, there's several different methods I think up at the moment for trying to sterilise. Obviously, none are going to be 100%, and the ones I've supplied to our local surgery, they re-sterilise them anyway. So I'm just getting them as clean as I possibly can. I've got the actual information on the bleach and how to do it, so I'll put that on the notes. But it's a bleach for bleaching water, and then hot soapy water, thoroughly rinsed, and then allowed to dry. And again, they do suggest if you can leave them for a while, it's even better. They're saying current information, I'm just reading this, is the virus can last up to 3 days on plastic. So if you leave it more than 3 days, even if you've bleached and washed and everything, it's one further thing. And if you can seal them in a plastic bag, even better. But as I say, I'm supplying some sort of a rush ones for our local surgery, ready made, and then the rest of them I'm just printing and sending them off to 3D Crowd, and I believe they'll collect. Actually, I haven't actually only registered with them yesterday, but I have been making these all last week. So that's that's how far I've got with these. As I say, these are Mayku sheets. They're for hot moulding. They're in the UK from Amazon. They were £29.99, so £30 for 30 sheets, £1 a sheet each, which is okay, I suppose. I haven't found any cheaper plates to buy plastic. I did look at using, and they did recommend, but it doesn't really work, that's transparency, overhead transparency. It's not strong enough. I mean, I did try it on there, and it does sort of form a shape, and I suppose it would work. I mean, it would work. I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but it's not really ideal. But these sheets seem to fit the bill from what's come out. What's fairly cheaply available off the shelf. If you buy larger pieces of plastic on eBay, PETG or polythene, can be quite expensive. So it can be very expensive. So I think that's the way. I've ordered another pack of those so I can make up our local doctor about 60 of these. But then the rest will be going off to 3D Crowd. So that's where I am at the moment.